then theoretically, you actually don't really need to write down the seed phrase or the backup, because if you're just going to use the wallet for just, frivolous kind of spending, little things here and there, and if you don't, I guess, and if it's not your high value crypto assets, then you know you actually don't even need to write down your seed phrase. Because I've done that in the past before too, where if I want to use a wallet just for either testing or for um spending on little amounts, I if the wallet does require me to recite the seed phrase in the setup process, sure, I would write it down. But then afterwards, I won't even like really store it anywhere. I'll just kind of get rid of it, right? Because the wallet itself, afterwards, when you use the wallet, you never have to input the seed phrase again, right? Signing a transaction or signing any types of payments just requires the click of a button. So I don't know if you wanted to kind of chime in on that as well.
Yeah, I agree. That is kind of most of the phone-based wallets fall into that category of being just a go-to temporary storage for smaller amounts of crypto that you might want to spend on the go and that sort of thing. And yeah, I mean, some of those wallets. And I'm just going to throw a few names out here because I have them on my phone here, like Trust Wallet, Atomic Wallet, MetaMask for mobile, Phantom, Decent, Yori, the Coinbase wallet, Soulflare, Kepler, Keystone. Well, Keystone's tied to a device. Uh, so a wallet like that, some of them will force you to write it down when you initialize the wallet. Others won't. They'll just let you bypass it. And yeah, I mean, even if you're forced to write it down once to verify, it's really not that crucial that you keep it around. What's the worst that could happen? You had $30 in there and something happened and you lost your $30. It's not going to be that big of a deal. So yeah, I mean, in those types of wallets, and not even just phone wallets, but even like you could do the same thing with a ballet wallet. I mean, you could carry it around until it's empty. If you get one, and they're not that expensive. You get one, you throw $100 worth of crypto on there, and then you go out and buy a couple of things and some coffee or whatever. It's almost empty. You can just toss it. It's not. It's kind of like uh, more like a regular wallet in that sense. You could do that. You don't have to be strict about that kind of stuff.
What are your thoughts on the term wallet in general to describe crypto wallets? This might seem a very like silly question, but um, like we've noticed on crypto Twitter for the past year, maybe that some people are trying to steer away from calling crypto wallets with the term wallet. The reasonings being because many of them see wallets um, having the connotation of only storing like money, right? But
Hmm.
people are now saying that crypto and Web3 have become a lot more than just storing your coins, right? You People use the wallet for interacting with dApps, interacting with NFT platforms, using it to connect or log in, for example.
Hmm.
I've heard people trying to push for the narrative of renaming wallets to being named signing devices, for example.
Hmm.
I've even heard the term um, passports, like using the term
Hmm.
passport instead of wallet. I think others that I've heard are yeah, I think I've heard somebody try to push for the term backpack in replacement for a wallet. But yeah, I mean, I guess wanting to get your thoughts on this.
Yeah, that's a good point. When you first started phrasing that question, I thought about like a full on long term storage crypto, whatever. You might want to call it a repository or a vault or something like that, which it pulls away that day to day use kind of carelessness of like a regular wallet that I carry around to the mall. And I don't usually carry much cash anymore, but my wallet has my ID and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, these newer implementations that we would use to manage not only our crypto but our apps and our gaming credentials, and you might refer to those more accurately as like my web token, my what was the term you threw out there?
There was passport, backpack,
Passport,
signing device.
backpack. Yeah. My web credentials, that kind of stuff is, I mean, in those use cases is really more accurate than the term wallet, because it's not just money, but it's tying into a lot of things besides money. I think it's a lot of it is your credentials. And I think about a crypto wallet like that, even though it's not really tied to my ID, I hold it with me when I need to authorize something. So it is sort of like credentials. And if it's a web-based or Web3 based wallet, then credentials is probably more accurate than wallet, because it's the idea of a crypto wallet is really, most of it is out there on the blockchain. The part that you hold is just the private keys, the part that signs, the part that authorizes, So, yeah.
Where do you see wallets evolving over the next 5 years? Many in the community in the past year have kind of pushed forward new technologies. So, for example, on Ethereum, the Ethereum Foundation and the Ethereum dev team, they've been pushing and promoting a lot of the new account abstraction kind of feature, where basically abstracting the private key and seed phrase away from the user and having the wallet as a smart contract on the blockchain. There's a new wallet by Jack Dorsey's company that is implementing some kind of quote unquote social recovery system, right? Some type of like MPC
Interesting
kind of setup. I guess just wanted to get your thoughts and your, I guess, maybe future outlook on where you kind of see wallets moving forward to, and what kind of functionalities are going to come out maybe, or do you see, the necessity of the 12 or 24 words kind of fading away, or yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm old fashioned. So no matter how a wallet evolves, be it web based or phone based or computer based or whatever, I would always feel like I would want to have the key, the authorization, however that comes out. It doesn't necessarily need to be something with a 12-word or 24-word backup phrase if they can figure out a way. Like for example, a Tangent wallet, as long as it's something that only I have and only I can use, and I would want it to be offline. Most of the web-based wallets, MetaMask in particular, can be used in conjunction with a hardware device, either a Ledger or a Trezor. Actually, I think it supports more too. You can use Keystone Pros, Ellipals. I'm not sure how broad the support is for those two, but I would not feel comfortable having my private key socially backed up, based on my social media presence. Although we are seeing, I think, with AI now, there may be ways of identifying ourselves. That'll be evolving over time. Like if I log into my computer and an AI bot can verify my YouTube account, my Twitter account, I don't use Facebook anymore, but it can sort of see my history and then like verify who I am through all of that. but it still requires my authorization somehow, be it my voice or my my facial recognition or my iris scan or whatever it is that makes me unique. That it might evolve in that sense going forward, uh, because there are, we're all unique. Everybody has a unique DNA, a unique face, a unique fingerprint, a unique iris scan. So maybe they'll incorporate those sort of things in the future. But if they do, we still have that problem of loss of privacy, because a lot of that stuff will become public in that sense. In order to verify me, they're going to have a record of what makes me somewhere out there that can connect and go, oh yeah, this is Rex. So, there's, I'm sure the ways we sign our transactions will evolve. But I'm old fashioned. I would still like it to be a piece of hardware that I'm holding in my hand that doesn't have any, real ties to my person or my ID.
I think the term that I like to use a lot in wallet conversations is that it's a lot more artisanal when you hold the private key and when you actually
Mm-hmm.
use a private key yourself,
Mm-hmm.
rather than relying on some other software to kind of take care of it. But yeah, one last question, one last kind of trivial question. I know Victor wanted to ask you this as well, and we actually had a podcast. Me and Victor had our own podcast before this episode, um, dedicated to this one conversation, and it is also about Ledger. They seem to be quite controversial this year, but their Ledger chain product. Would you ever wear a chain or the Ledger chain with the Ledger on it? And how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't know that I would. But I mean, if I were a celebrity and I had, bodyguards around me, and I had good physical security and I wanted to flaunt, I mean, I'm not the type of person that wears diamond rings and gold chains and expensive watches, but it's kind of that same question. Am I going to wear a bunch of expensive jewelry if I'm out and about on the street? It could be risky, depending on what neighborhoods I go into, but people do it, all through history. People wear expensive jewelry to sort of impress others and enhance their own appearance and maybe give their ego a boost. So I think that wearing a ledger with a chain around your neck falls in that same category. Personally, I probably wouldn't. I keep my ledger device in my pocket.
I think with that question, we can wrap it up for this episode of the podcast. I want to thank again the Crypto Dad, Rex, for joining this podcast. He is the first guest of the 256 podcast. So we much deeply appreciate him taking the time and chatting with me and Victor about his journey in crypto and about crypto wallets specifically. And then yeah. So thank you again, Rex.
Sure, sure. I'd love to come on again. I'll talk about your podcast on my channel and try to direct people over to it. And it'll be good for both of us. And yeah, I really enjoy talking with like-minded people in the crypto space. It doesn't happen that often. Most of the time, the people that I encounter in my day-to-day life are not crypto savvy, so it's nice to be able to just kick back, relax, and talk to someone that gets it.
For sure.